Well, tomorrow's the big day, isn't it? I don't think I need to remind you, but I expect you to be on your best behavior. I don't want you or your daughter doing anything to upset the other guests, understand? It's embarrassing enough for my son to be marrying a girl who was raised by a single mother. If anything, that's a detail that I'd ordinarily prefer to keep a secret from my family. The cat's out of the bag, however, so there's no use hiding it. I would appreciate, however, if you wouldn't act like it.
Well, good evening to you too, Ken. I'm sorry, is there something you find embarrassing about coming from a single-parent home? I'm not sure why you'd feel the need to hide it. Have I done something to offend you?
How can I put it? It's not so much that you've done something, and more just the fact that you exist. I mean, I'm shocked, honestly. You really made it this far in life by yourself without getting remarried? Isn't it humiliating just to show your face in public? You might as well be wearing a sign that says, "My husband couldn't stand me, and neither can any other man."
Oh boy, where to start? First, that would have to be a very big sign. Second, I was the one who initiated the divorce, not my ex-husband, and I had a very good reason for doing so. Also, I haven't really been out there looking for a new husband, so the fact that I'm still single has nothing to do with my appeal to men. So I don't know what exactly you're shocked about. I, however, am quite shocked that you would actually think that "aren't you embarrassed to go in public" is an acceptable question to ask someone.
Yes, you would be shocked, wouldn't you? You obviously associate with a far lower caliber of person than I do. At least that's the only way I can think of for you to have come this far in life without anyone telling you what they really think. Good Lord, this is making me nervous about tomorrow. As they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And based on what I know about the tree in question, oh boy! At this rate, I wouldn't be surprised if buyer's remorse sets in within the first few days. I would hate for my poor son to have to go through divorce at such a young age.
Ken, believe me when I say that you don't have a thing to worry about. I took great care in raising my daughter to be as good of a woman, wife, and mother as she can be. I've seen how she and Sawyer act when they're together, and to say they're crazy about each other would be an understatement. The two of them are going to build a happy family together, I can tell.
Well, what I can tell is that when the two of them get divorced, it's going to be your daughter's fault. Children of broken homes tend to go on to make broken homes of their own, after all. I trust you're prepared to take responsibility for everything when that day comes, correct?
Personally, I don't see any reason to treat divorce like an inevitability. I mean, they're not even married yet. Their wedding is tomorrow. It seems kind of vulgar to be talking about their divorce at a time like this. As parents, the best thing for us to do now is to support our children as much as we can as they embark on their new journey, wouldn't you say?
As someone whose marriage is still going strong, I'd say that you are in no position to be giving anyone any advice regarding married life or parenting. Let me say it another way. I won't give much weight to the words of someone who not only failed in their marriage, but also failed to remarry even decades later. What could you even tell them? How sad it is to be abandoned and unwanted for most of your life? Sob stories about the misery and poverty your ex-husband left you in may garner you sympathy with some people out there, but they won't have any effect on me. Which reminds me, your daughter is about to experience a quality of life like you never even dreamed would be possible. But that life is only for her and not for you. I don't want you coming around to my son or myself begging for handouts. Do I make myself clear?
I would never even consider doing that. I took pride in raising my daughter to be able to stand on her own 2 feet, and I did so by setting a good example for her. So no, I will not be relying on your son or you for any money. I have no such need or intentions. Honestly, why would you even bring up such a ridiculous concern?
Ridiculous people do ridiculous things, Caroline. When dealing with them, you have to have ridiculous concerns. And with that, I'll take my leave. Do take care not to do anything embarrassing in front of my family at the wedding tomorrow.
And the same goes for you, Ken.
Come now, Caroline. Did you actually think I would prepare a seat for an impoverished single mother at my son's wedding? I do appreciate the pre-show entertainment, however. The stunned expression on your face was positively hysterical.
I genuinely cannot believe what just happened. I went to where I assumed my seat would be as the mother of the bride, but it wasn't there. Then when you called out to me, I assumed you would be showing me to where my seat was. But you just threw a glass of wine all over me.
And you should be grateful that's all that happened to you. What an obnoxious little upstart you are, thinking you, of all people, deserved a seat at this wedding. It was high time someone finally taught you your place. Do you get just where you rank in this world now, Caroline? You've got just two choices now. You can either watch the ceremony while standing up in the back of the room, or you can show yourself the door.
You expect me to stand and watch the ceremony while covered from head to toe in wine?
I have to say, this look suits you quite well, Caroline. The embarrassment you're feeling right now is just a small taste of the humiliation you've caused me by showing up today. If you don't want things to get any worse for you, then take the hint and leave now. I don't have any use for an unmarriageable woman like you.
I have a message for you. This marriage ends now.
Is that so? Excellent news! I should have seen this coming, really. Go on, take your filthy daughter with you and get out of my sight. I'll have my son marry a woman from a family with more class.
You're in deep enough of a hole as things stand, Ken. Don't you think you ought to stop digging? Your wife is practically on her hands and knees begging me for forgiveness right now.
What? My wife is apologizing to you? What are you talking about?
That's just like I said. Your wife is here with me, crying her eyes out and apologizing to me for you. And she wants me to tell you that your marriage ends now.
All right, that's more than enough nonsense out of you for one day. If you think I believe that my wife would be apologizing to you, much less saying she wants to divorce me, you've got another think coming. Don't ever lie about my wife like that again. I mean, really, what reason would my wife have to apologize to a nobody like you?
Oh, she has a very good reason. I'm the CEO of the company that she works for.
What? You're a CEO?
Why, yes, Ken, I am. Thank you so much for asking about my work, something you've never even done once before now. But to be honest, I don't think she needs to apologize to me for anything. I'm not the type of person to use my position as a CEO to terrorize my employees into submission. Plus, I would never do anything to jeopardize the company's relationship with your wife. She's one of the finest employees I have. We would be lost without her.
That's far too ridiculous to be true! But at the same time, why would you lie about something that would be so easy to debunk? I suppose I've never spoken to my wife about her career all that much.
You're right, you haven't said anything to her. She's been saying quite a bit to you, however. The problem is that you simply haven't been listening. Actually, from what she tells me, you never listen to what she has to say about much of anything. It sounds like she's been having doubts about her future with you for quite some time.
No, I don't believe anything you're saying. This is all just a ploy to frighten me into debasing myself by apologizing to you. To think I almost let myself get fooled by such an idiotic lie. You're a single mother. You couldn't even keep your husband in the house, and yet you're telling me you somehow managed to become a CEO? I suppose lying like this must be how you cope with the shame of failing in both your marriage and your career.
I have another message for you from your wife. Shut your foul mouth, you foolish old geezer. Didn't you notice the fact that your wife has been blowing up your phone with calls and texts for the last several minutes? She's trying to tell you to come over here and beg me for forgiveness immediately.
I disabled notifications from her number a long time ago. I had no idea she was calling. But what's going on? You mean my wife is really there with you? And not only that, you've managed to get her to go along with your story? What did you say to her?
I haven't said much to her, but boy oh boy has she told me some things about you. I understand that you recently fell victim to your company's restructuring and are currently unemployed, Ken.
No! She told you about that? I don't believe it! That is a private matter between her and I, and it doesn't concern you whatsoever. She had no right to discuss it with you.
Actually, Ken, I'd say she has every right to tell me. I'm not just the CEO of the company, I'm the one who personally scouted her to join my firm. I've seen her work at other places, and I was willing to pay her any price she wanted to have her work the same magic for me. And as it turns out, I was absolutely right to make her the offer I did. She's been pumping out results left and right. Every single project I have her work on is a roaring success. So in the course of our working together, I once asked her what it was that motivates her to work so hard. And do you know what she told me? She said it's because her husband is a miserly cheapskate who keeps his entire paycheck to himself and makes her pay all the household expenses.
That woman! Listen, Caroline, I want you to tell my wife that she is not to say one more word about our private matters to you. Also that we're going to have a very serious talk about her need to learn to hold her tongue. What's wrong with her? How could she treat her own husband like this? Is she trying to ruin my reputation?
I don't think she's getting any pleasure out of airing all your dirty laundry. Quite the contrary, she's rather embarrassed. Embarrassed by you, that is. She told me that she rarely ever talks about you because of the shame she feels. Do you get what that means, Ken? It means that what you've done and the way you've acted in your marriage are so out of line that it's hard for her to talk to other people about you.
Is that really the way she feels about me?
It is, Ken. And if you just put the slightest bit of thought into it, you should understand what sort of position she's in. Right now, with you out of a job, she's the one who's carrying the entire burden of your family's finances on her shoulders. If I were to take offense at your behavior today and fire your wife because of it, what would happen? Both you and your wife would be unemployed. I feel like that's an outcome you would prefer to avoid, right?
As much as it pains me to admit it, you're correct. So, Caroline, we can be reasonable about all of this, can't we? You're not going to fire my wife over this, are you? You said it yourself. My wife is one of the finest employees you have.
Oh, most certainly. Your wife hasn't done anything wrong. I would have to be out of my mind to fire her.
Well, that's a relief. The way you were talking made me nervous that you were actually considering firing her. You're gonna give me a heart attack. Anyway, now that I know the truth about you, this changes everything. Sure, it may not be optimal that you're a single mother, but I'll only be related to you loosely through my son. I can tolerate that much if it means my son finds happiness.
Yeah, about that son of yours. I think you should know that he's right here on his knees next to your wife, also begging for my forgiveness. I'll bet he never thought you would have taken things this far.
What? Even Sawyer is over there with you? He's usually much more level-headed than this. I don't see why he would go and make such a big deal out of nothing.
You are about to have a very bad day if you're still going to act like what happened at the wedding was nothing. Your wife is feeling humiliated and afraid, but not your son. No, he's another story entirely. He is furious. He tells me he's going to go back to the cathedral and physically remove you from the premises personally.
What? What do you mean?
I mean he's going to come over there and drag you out of the room by your shirt collar. He says that he's ashamed to call you his father.
Ashamed? Of me? I will not stand for such talk. I am his father. He will pay me the respect I deserve.
I think the issue here is that you grossly overestimate how much respect you deserve. Anyway, one way or another, you're going to be kicked out of the wedding. If he presents you with a choice, I highly suggest you choose the easy way. The hard way is just going to add insult to injury. So, good luck dealing with your very large, very strong, and very angry son.
Caroline, I wanted to let you know once again how sorry I am for what happened yesterday. The only reason we were able to continue the wedding as scheduled despite the disturbance was your graciousness. Thank you so much for being so forgiving.
Really, Sawyer, it's all right. You said all you needed to say yesterday. I'm so happy that you and my daughter are finally married. I'm rooting for the two of you.
I don't know what I'll ever do to repay you for everything you've done for us. Both me and my mom owe you so much. So I promise you I will find some way to return the kindness you've shown us.
Sawyer, please, I'm telling you, you don't need to do that. You know how you can repay me. By working together with my daughter to make your marriage the happiest that it can be. There is no better gift that you could ever give me than that.
Caroline, I promise you, I won't let you down. I'll make your daughter the happiest woman in the entire world.
I always knew you would, Sawyer. As far as your father is concerned, I remember the pre-game speech you gave me before you took me to your house to meet him. You said that your father is a bit different and apologized in advance for any rude things he might say to me. Thanks to you telling me that, I was more than prepared to deal with his nonsense. Though I have to say I was surprised at how thickly he laid it on at the wedding.
Wait, did he say something to you?
Oh, you know, the usual. The same prejudice against single mothers.
No way! He was actually giving you grief about that at our wedding? I am so sorry for the kind of person that my father is. He's the kind of guy that always has to find some reason to complain about everything. It's like he wants to try and control anything and everything around him or something. And if someone goes against his ideal image, ooh boy, look out. But I never thought he would even be that way with you.
Your father is a way with defying people's expectations, doesn't he? Just not in a good way. I mean, the father of the groom dumping a glass of wine all over the mother of the bride at the wedding? Not even people who've known your father for ages would have seen that coming.
I was caught between wanting to hide out of shame and punch him in a blind rage.
Yes, I remember feeling a similar way myself, unsure whether to laugh or scream bloody murder. But again, it's all done now. I'm already completely over it. But based on the way you were acting yesterday, I can't help but think that you two will be getting over it as easily as I was. It seemed like the two of you had been putting up with that man's outrageous antics for far longer than I can imagine, which is a big reason why I didn't bear any ill will toward either you or your mother. Quite the contrary, I'd like to help any way I can. Being a CEO means I have plenty of connections, and I'm more than happy to use them to your benefit. At the very least, I'll have no issue with arranging for a place for your mother where she can feel safe and at ease.
Thanks to you, both me and my mom are free now. It's kind of hard for me to take in. I just feel so overwhelmed by relief.
I bet it feels incredible considering all you've had to go through. But that's all in the past now. You have nothing more to hold you back from living your best life possible.
Yeah, you're right. It's time to stop dreading the past and look toward the future. Caroline, if you wouldn't mind, I'd appreciate the opportunity to apologize for yesterday. I had no idea such a minor incident would have such outlandish repercussions.
Really, Ken? You're calling it a minor incident? You dumped wine on me, the mother of the bride, and kicked me out of the wedding. If that's minor, then I'd like to hear what your definition of major is. And none of the consequences that you faced are outlandish in the slightest. You're getting nothing more or less than exactly what you deserve. Like having your own son throw you out of his wedding.
I never imagined that I would be in this sort of position. I've been the breadwinner for this family for decades.
Oh, you have you? Unless I'm mistaken, your wife has been the one supporting your family for at least the last several years, right? It's pretty obvious to anyone with any sense at all what you're doing. The only reason you're trying to reach out to apologize to me is because your wife is leaving you and you're terrified.
You don't understand, though. My wife has completely lost her mind. I kept trying to tell her that divorcing at our age would be a catastrophically stupid thing to do, but she just won't listen. No matter what I said, she kept saying she was going to divorce me. I've never seen her like this before. She's ordinarily much more obedient. She shoved a stack of divorce papers in my face and forced me to sign them, and now she's on her way to her lawyer's office to get them submitted. This is my last chance to stop her before it's too late.
I'd say your last chance was before you signed the divorce papers. Why didn't you put up more of a fight back then? Did your pride get the better of you?
You don't know the first thing about a man's pride, Caroline. After all the years I spent dedicating myself to supporting my family, and this is the thanks I get? A cold betrayal when we should be heading into our golden years?
What you've been doing wasn't supporting your family, it was controlling them. You always demanded things go exactly the way you wanted them to without even an inch of compromise. If something wasn't going your way, you simply berate whoever you're dealing with until they relent. I've never told you or anyone else about this, but your son came to me, distraught before, and confessed something. He said that he wanted his mother to divorce you like I did to my ex-husband.
What? You're kidding me! Then you mean to tell me that this is all his doing?
No, Ken, let's make one thing perfectly clear before we move on. This is all your fault and no one else's. Your wife has been fed up with you for quite some time now. After you lost your job, did you do the responsible thing and go out and look for a new one? No, you carried on like everything was normal, went out drinking and gambling, and then came home smelling like booze and acting like the king of the castle. Even though you didn't have a job, you still forced your wife to do all the housework. Whenever she tried to talk to you about it, you'd fly into a blind rage, punching walls and throwing whatever objects you could get your hands on. She was so terrified of you that she didn't know what she would do if she ever tried to leave you.
But what did she expect me to do? Debase myself and wash dishes like some kind of maid? That's what I have a wife for. Men aren't meant to do such things. Housework is her job, and when I'm at home, that means it's my time off. Where does she get off forcing me to do her job on my break time?
I don't know if you've seen a calendar lately, but it's not the Middle Ages anymore. You can't force women to do whatever you want and threaten them with violence if they disobey anymore. And if you want to talk about people doing their job, isn't it a man's job to provide for his family's needs? But you were a cheapskate about every single aspect of your expenses. The very reason your wife started working in the first place was because you refused to pay for anything other than a community college for Sawyer. Sawyer told me that your wife would tell him all that time that she regrets marrying a man like you.
So that's it? She's going to run away? And do what? What could she possibly do with her life if she loses me?
She's not losing you so much as gaining her life back. She's working for me and making plenty of money, so you don't have to worry about her finances. As for a place to live, I am putting her up in employee housing free of charge. If anything, without you around, she'll have far more of a life than she ever did before. So she has nothing to lose by walking away from you, but you have everything to lose. When she's gone, so is your only source of income. You'll be left all alone as a jobless, penniless, unwanted, and unmarriageable old man. This will be a great opportunity for you to learn just how useless you really are.
Okay, I get it. You win. I was wrong. I'll apologize. So please tell my wife not to divorce me. I'll start looking for a new job right away. That will solve everything, right? You just have to talk some sense into her. Aren't you concerned about what people will think of her when they hear she's divorced?
No, not really, since you're just about the only person who's so comically prejudiced against divorced women. It's time for you to lose everything, Ken. That's the only way you'll ever realize what a fool you are. Ken managed to catch up with his wife while she was about to walk into her lawyer's office. He was crying his eyes out, begging her not to leave him, but it didn't do any good. After that day, I noticed a change in her at the office. She started smiling way more, and her performance, which was already top-notch, improved drastically. As for Ken, partially because of his age, and partially because he never had any real employable skills to begin with, he hasn't had any luck at all in his job search. From what I understand, he's currently looking for part-time jobs, since no company is willing to hire him full-time. I can't say that I feel bad for him, honestly. Oh, and I have great news. My daughter is expecting their first child right now. I'm so excited to watch the two of them as they build their own big and happy family.
I've got a question for you, and I want a straight answer, okay? Are you planning to rely on your son's financial support in the future? Evan's an absolutely brilliant guy, and he's working for a rapidly expanding company. Not only that, he's on the fast track to upper management. He's told me all about how much money trouble you guys had when he was a kid, and how you raised him by yourself. Being a single mother most of your life, I can't imagine you have much savings or investments. You're not planning to mooch from your successful son in order to make ends meet, are you?
Melody? I have no idea what you're talking about. The short answer is no, I don't have any such intentions. It's true that we weren't exactly what you'd call wealthy back then after I divorced Evan's father, but we haven't been struggling like that for quite some time now. I'm making more than enough money to support myself. May I ask what brought this on all of a sudden?
Because frankly, I don't believe a word of what you just said. I mean, you never got remarried, right? That means you've been a single mother this whole time. There's no way you have a normal person's idea of a decent quality of living. Plus, the fact that even after all this time, you still can't find a man who's willing to marry you is a huge red flag. There's got to be something wrong with you. I'm 100% sure of it. I mean, besides the fact that no men are interested in some other guy's used goods.
Melody, I'm shocked that you would speak to me like that. What has gotten into you? You've never behaved like this around me in all the time that I've known you. Is something wrong? Did something happen between you and Evan? Are you fighting? Or perhaps is there something that I said or did to offend you somehow? The wedding is just around the corner after all. I'm currently in the airport waiting for my flight to Hawaii. If there's something wrong, or even if you're just nervous about the wedding, you can feel free to talk to me. I don't know what to think about this sudden change in attitude.
Oh, there's nothing sudden about this at all. I've been thinking about this for a long time now. I just thought that I had better make things clear right now before the wedding, you know? I do not want to have to spend the better part of my life constantly dealing with you begging us for money. So if you were planning on taking advantage of us to fund your retirement, you've got another thing coming.
I already told you, Melody, I have absolutely no intentions of relying on the two of you at any point in the future. And I'm not sure how you came to be under this misconception, but I'm not in any sort of financial trouble at all. At the very least, I'm not so hard up for money that I would think of mooching from my son and his wife. So please, Melody, there's nothing for you to worry about. I won't be coming around panhandling at your house. I have to say, however, you seem to be rather hung up on the fact that I was a single mother. The way you talk about it makes me think you have some kind of prejudice towards people like me.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I wasn't interested in hearing your input on the subject. All I wanted to do was give it to you loud and clear that you will not be getting any handouts from us. Oh, and one more thing. After the wedding, we won't be needing you in our lives at all anymore, so I would appreciate it if you could keep your distance.
What? Why would you ask me to stay out of your lives?
Oh, I've got a ton of reasons. How much time do you have? I guess my biggest concern is what we'll have to do once you get old. Like, I would rather die than have to spend all day changing my mother-in-law's diapers. And since God knows you aren't going to ever find a man to support you in your old age, that means it's practically certain that it's gonna fall to me. Plus, having to deal with my mother-in-law at all is gonna be like torture, even before you become even more dead weight than you already are. So I figured the best thing to do would be to cut ties now before I have to go through all of that.
Well, that certainly is a bold position to take. How do you think Evan will feel to know that you said that to me? Do you think he'll go along with you?
Yeah, obviously. In case you haven't noticed, your son is completely obsessed with me. I would never marry any other type of man, to be honest. Like, what good is any man who would choose his mother over his wife, right? So, I know you said you were waiting for your flight to Hawaii, but you could always, not come. Because even if you do, I'm not going to let you into the wedding.
You can't possibly be serious about that. They just called my group to board the plane.
Oh, yeah, I am dead serious. Enjoy your flight. I hope you have a plan B for what to do while you're in Hawaii. Bye-bye.
Well, I just got off my plane and picked up my luggage. I seem to remember Evan telling me that you were going to come and pick me up from the airport. But ever since your little declaration before I boarded the plane, I've been wondering if that has changed.
Wow, you still came all the way out here for the wedding, even after all that? You just can't take a hint, can you? If you must know, I am at the airport right now to pick up my friends. But there are 5 of us, and the van only has 6 seats, so you're out of luck. You'll just have to walk. Oh, and you should start now. The venue's about 6 hours away on foot.
Okay, I'll just be on my way then.
Wow, that was easier than I expected. You don't seem like you're all that interested in coming to the wedding anymore. That can only mean one thing. That I was right about you being after Evan's money, and now that you know you're not going to get it, you've lost all interest in him.
It's much simpler than that, actually. I know that nothing I say will even get through to you, so I'm not even going to bother. Don't worry about me. I'll walk.
Be careful on your way. Try not to fall into any volcanoes.
I'll do my best.
Hey, where are you right now? I'm on my way to pick you up, so stay right there.
What's the matter, Melody? I thought you told me there wasn't any room for me in the van. It's a lovely day for a walk. I'm already well on my way.
Please come back to the airport. I'll give you a ride.
Goodness gracious, Melody, I can't keep up. Up until yesterday, you were always sweet and kind to me. Then not even 12 hours ago, you treated me like a leech and demanded I cut off contact with you. And now you're desperate to help me once again? Well, you're too late. I still have 5 hours and 55 minutes left on this walk. I'd like to make it in time to thank the other guests for coming on their way out.
But I'm telling you, I'm gonna give you a ride to the venue. You've only been walking for 5 minutes. How far could you possibly have gotten?
And what is it to you? You're the one who told me to walk.
I had no idea. You were the one who got us the reservation for this venue and even paid the full cost of the wedding and the hotel. Evan told me you talked to him. You sent him a screenshot of our conversation and everything. Evan called me right after you did and started screaming his head off. He's never gotten this angry at me before. I mean, he's never gotten angry at me, period. He's always so calm and soft-spoken. It's so unlike him that it's kind of scary.
I'll bet it is. But honestly, Melody, what did you expect was going to happen? I raised Evan all by myself after me and my ex-husband broke up. Not only that, I paid for his entire wedding as a present. And you went and did everything in your power to prevent me from attending. I can't think of anything that would infuriate him more than that.
Okay, I get it. Hindsight is 20/20, and when you say it like that, I guess I was a wee bit out of line earlier. But look at it from my perspective, okay? I had no idea about any of that. If I had known, I never would have done something like that.
Indeed, and if I had known before what a vile harpy you really were, I never would have consented to you marrying my son. When you texted me before I boarded the plane, I thought for sure there must be some good reason for you to have spoken that way to me. I was thinking about it the entire time I was on the plane. But now you've shown me with your actions that no, there was no good reason. There was no reason at all. You're just a bad person. so I'm afraid I'm no longer as enthusiastic about your marrying my son. If anything, I'll bet my son is thinking the same way as I am right now.
I am so sorry. I was a total jerk. I admit it. So please, can't you find it in your heart to forgive me? Evan is really mad at me. I'm getting afraid that he actually might be considering canceling the wedding. I've tried to contact him a bunch of times since he called me, but he won't respond.
If you're worried about the wedding being canceled, the person to talk to would be me. I'm the one who made the reservation, after all, and I already called the venue and canceled it, so Evan is no doubt far too busy to talk with the likes of you.
What? How can you say something like that so casually? My life is on the line here.
No, only your marriage to my son. However, if my son had actually married you today, then his future would certainly have had a dark cloud hanging over it. Frankly, I am relieved that the wedding isn't going to happen anymore.
You can't do this to me. I'm begging you, come with me to the wedding. That's what you want, right? Don't you want to come to your son's wedding? Well, you can. I take back everything I said.
I think you're underestimating how badly you screwed up. My son now knows exactly what kind of a garbage human being you are. I doubt there's anything that you or even I could do to change his mind.
But you can't know that unless we try.
No, trust me, I know. I'm his mother, after all. I've been watching over him ever since the day he was born.
Then what should I do now?
Well, your first order of business is to give up on ever marrying my son.
Hey, Mom, I'm really sorry for what happened. Where are you right now? As you can probably guess, things are pretty hectic around here, so I don't know when I'll be able to come and pick you up. If you want, step into a cafe or something and just chill for a while. The wedding is canceled, obviously, so you don't need to worry about coming out all this way.
I'm glad to see how comfortable you are saying that. I was debating whether or not I should tell you about what Melody said and did to me. I thought that maybe if I kept my mouth shut, you and her might genuinely be happy together. She is the woman you chose to be your wife, so she must have some redeeming qualities. But I thought there wouldn't be any way to hide it. If I actually showed up at the venue 6 hours later, drenched in sweat and exhausted, you would no doubt have asked questions. So the best thing to do was be upfront with you about the whole thing.
You were absolutely right to tell me about her, Mom. I had no idea that's the kind of person she was. The fact that she would do this to anyone, much less my mom, is just insane. Honestly, I had a hard time believing it at first, but when I called her and asked her about it, sure enough, she didn't pick you up like she said she would. She tried passing it off as an accident, saying she forgot, but I was too mad to hear anything she had to say.
I don't doubt that at all. You're probably even angrier about this than I am. But if she was going to reveal her true nature like this, I'm glad she did it before the wedding. I'm sure there are much better women out there for you than her.
You worked so hard to provide for me up until now, Mom. You didn't deserve to be treated with that kind of contempt. I'm really sorry for this. I'm partially responsible. It's like you said, she's the woman I chose to be my wife, and she said such terrible things to you. Don't worry, though. I'm gonna make sure the next girl I propose to is someone who'll treat you with the respect you deserve.
I'm honored to hear you say that, but remember one thing. I want you to be the kind of man who cares more for his wife than he does for his mother.
I know, but if I'm going to love and respect a woman, she's gonna have to love and respect my mother, too. I mean, yeah, she'll obviously be the #1 woman in the world for me, but you know what I mean.
I understand you just fine, dear, and thank you.
Anyway, you don't need to worry about my love life. This may seem kind of weird coming from your son, but don't you think it's time you had your own? I've been aware of this for a long time now, but you made the conscious decision to not get remarried, didn't you? Also, you could focus more time on me.
Evan, I don't know what you mean.
It's okay, Mom. You don't need to hide it from me. The truth is that I remember this one time, back when I was really young. You had told me that there was a nice man at the place where you worked, and you wanted me to meet him. Then when he came to the house, he gave you a hug and a kiss, and I threw an absolute tantrum. I was crying and screaming, "Don't hug my mommy, she's my mommy!"
Oh, yes, I do remember that day. It was so adorable how jealous you got, seeing me getting attention from someone other than you.
No, it wasn't. It was awful, and I'm ashamed of that. I might have been young at the time, but I was old enough to understand, even if only subconsciously. That guy wanted to marry you, didn't he? And you wanted to marry him too. I was afraid that if you married someone, then you wouldn't love me as much anymore. That's why I went so crazy, because I didn't want him to take you away from me, and after that I never saw you spending time with any other men ever again. All you ever did was focus on your job, housework, and taking care of me. But even with everything you had sacrificed for my sake, you never seemed sad or angry about it at all. As I've gotten older, the weight of what I did back then has been getting heavier and heavier. I'm really sorry for that, Mom.
Oh, you poor dear. You've really been carrying that regret around with you all this time? You don't need to beat yourself up about anything. This is the path that I chose for myself. You were always the single most important thing in the world to me. There were times when I thought that you would benefit from having a positive male influence in the home, so I seriously thought about getting married. But if it would only cause you emotional pain, then what good would it do? I don't need to have a husband in order to be happy. All I need is to see my boy living the best life he possibly can.
Thank you so much, Mom, for everything. But really, I'm an adult now. I can take care of myself, so I want you to go out and find someone who makes you happy, okay? Actually, I was planning to tell you that at the wedding, but now that plan has fallen through. You said that all you want is my happiness, and I feel the same way about you.
Thank you so much, Evan. But today's events have brought more than enough turmoil into your life, I'd say. I would hate to add any more to that by getting married myself.
Please, don't hold back on finding your own happiness for my sake. Don't forget that you saved me from marrying that horrible woman. I owe you one. If I had gotten married to her, I would have been miserable for the rest of my life. So as of right now, I'm back on the road to a bright and happy future. You should feel free to walk down the same path for yourself.
What could I have possibly done to deserve such a wonderful, loving son as you, Evan? I think that's a wonderful idea. Let's both do our best to look to the future. I'm sure there will be some sadness for you surrounding today's events, but if you ever need any help from me, feel free to ask.
Sadness? Nah, I'm not going to be sad at all. Just a little bit before I texted you, something absolutely unbelievable happened.
Oh? What else could possibly happen today?
I honestly can't believe it, but Melody has been lying to me this whole time, so if you'll excuse me, I need to go and take care of some unfinished business.
What business? Evan, what's going on? Please, I'm begging you. You've got to do something. I need you to talk to Evan for me. If I don't act fast, then I'll never be able to get married to Evan. All I ever wanted was to build a big, happy family together with your son. So come on, can you please give me one last chance? If you talk to him, I know that he'll understand why I did what I did. I'll do anything you want, so please. You're too late, Melody. I already heard everything. Just when I thought my opinion of you couldn't possibly get any lower. You've got some nerve to contact me like this. It's not what you think. I was only ever serious about Evan. He's the man I really love. Please, you've got to believe me. What am I supposed to believe, Melody? Your lies or the evidence that your boyfriend brought with him to the wedding? Are you not content with playing my son Evan for a fool? You need to lie to me as well? I can't believe you would cheat on a man so kind and loving as Evan. I will never forgive you for such a callous betrayal. I never meant for things to go this far. It was all a mistake. I just got caught up in the moment.
I'm more committed now than ever to becoming the best wife possible for Evan. I'm so sorry for everything. Please, you have to forgive me.
It may have been a simple mistake for you, but that man seems to think otherwise. I mean, would he really fly all the way out to Hawaii if you were just caught up in the moment? And not only that, he came with the intent to barge in during the wedding to stop you from marrying Evan. I've never met a bigger couple of sleazeballs in my life.
I know that was bad, really, really bad. But I was very direct with him about my intentions with our relationship. I told him clearly that I would only be able to see him up until the wedding, and after that we would completely cut ties. If we ever ran into each other on the street, we would pretend to be strangers. That was the plan.
Well, apparently you didn't communicate that well enough. You don't think the fact that you were showering him with gifts and money toward the end might have given him the wrong idea? He thought that all he had to do was show you how serious he really was about you, and you would leave Evan for him. And the fact that he bought a ticket to Hawaii certainly proves that, I'd say.
I'm sorry. How many more times do I have to say it? But I only wanted Evan. I really was going to marry him today. Doesn't that show you that I was serious about him? That other guy is definitely not husband material.
You know, I absolutely agree. That's something your boyfriend has in common with you. You are definitely not wife material. And just so you know, Evan has zero intentions to marry you anymore. Whatever the grand plans you have to win him back are, I advise you not to waste your time.
I can't just give up, not yet. I need to marry Evan. I already quit my job and everything. I gave this big goodbye speech about how I was going to marry the most eligible bachelor in the entire city. So what am I supposed to do? Walk back in and ask for my job back? That would be the most humiliating thing ever.
And it would be precisely what you deserve. I'm sure you're feeling an incredibly powerful wave of remorse crashing over you right now. Evan is kind, handsome, and has a promising career. You weren't exaggerating when you called him the most eligible bachelor in the city. Isn't that ironic, though? Just yesterday, you messaged me telling me that you didn't want me to rely on Evan for financial support, but you were trying to do the exact thing you were accusing me of. You even told me that you didn't want me in your lives anymore after the wedding. But now you're coming to me to grovel and beg me to save your marriage?
But I never thought things would have turned out this way.
That's because you have an ego the size of the entire solar system.
You're right. You're totally right. I deserve all the ridicule you could throw at me. But if I don't marry Evan, then my life really is over.
There's something else you haven't told us, isn't there?
Yeah. The truth is, I borrowed quite a bit of money before getting married because I figured Evan could help me pay it all off. You know, to buy clothes and handbags and shoes.
And spend time with your boyfriend?
Maybe just a little.
Honestly, Melody, that doesn't surprise me in the least. But what do you want me to say? Did you think I would hear that sob story and say, "Oh, you poor dear, here, let me pay off that debt for you"? The world isn't such a forgiving place.
But if you don't help me, then what am I supposed to do?
You're an adult. Figure something out yourself. I'm not your mother nor your mother-in-law. If you were one or the other, then maybe I would feel some compulsion to give you a hand. But you're nothing to me at all. You're no different than any stranger I pass by on the street. So all I can say is that I hope you suffer as much as you deserve.
No, this can't be happening. I'm really sorry for being mean to you and cheating on Evan. I was acting terribly and I regret all of it. I'll never do any of that again, so please help me.
I wouldn't even give you my hand if you were drowning in the ocean. I have no reason at all to help you, and every reason to enjoy the show as your life comes crashing down around you. Also, since you were hiding your affair from Evan, I advised him to sue you for marriage fraud. You may be in paradise right now, but that only lasts until you leave. Your plane out of here won't be taking you home. You'll be taking a one-way trip to the deepest bowels of hell. Evan has always been a quiet, mild-mannered boy, but Melody's betrayal struck him to the core. He sued her for marriage fraud, and they're currently in discussions for a settlement. No longer having to deal with that awful woman has brought a new sense of peace to my life. On a request from Evan, I've decided to begin looking for someone who I could share the rest of my life with. The search may take some time for me, but goodness gracious, that Evan really is a lady killer. Not but a few weeks after the debacle of the wedding, he had already found another young lady for himself, and they seemed quite serious. After getting back from Hawaii, I understand that Melody has had trouble finding stable employment and is instead juggling multiple part-time jobs. She's having quite a bit of difficulty making ends meet while also having to save up money to pay off the settlement once it's decided on. Do I feel sorry for her at all? No, not one bit. She brought all of this on herself. Hello, Mallory. I hate to bother you right now since I'm sure you're busy getting ready for the wedding, but do you have a moment? I need your help with something.
What's the matter, Linda?
It's the oddest thing. I just got to the chapel a short while ago, but when I gave the receptionist my name, they said I wasn't on the guest list. I did come a bit early because I thought you might like some help with your hair or makeup, but the timing shouldn't be an issue. Yours is the only wedding today, after all. I tried to explain that I'm the mother of the groom, but they were insistent that they couldn't let me in. And then there's my son. I had something extremely important to talk to Troy about, but he's not returning my calls. Would you mind terribly talking to the venue staff for me?
I'm sorry, Linda, but I am afraid I can't do that.
What's the matter? Are you too busy? Oh, that's all right. You can let them know that I'm on the guest list whenever you get the chance.
No, you don't understand. I'm the one that had you removed from the guest list in the first place. I also gave the venue staff explicit instructions not to let you inside. So why would I go to all the trouble of having you banned from the building just to let you in after all?
You what? You had me banned from the building? But why would you do a thing like that? This is my son's wedding.
It's very simple, really. You're nothing but a parasite.
Excuse me? What do you mean?
Troy told me all about you. Your husband died back when he was really young, and he left behind a massive insurance policy. And ever since then, all you've been doing is slacking off at home. You're a housewife to a dead-end husband. You haven't worked or done anything else productive with your life. How shameless can you be? What would your husband say if he saw how you were squandering the massive insurance money he left you? I'm sorry, but this is our wedding day, the happiest day of our lives, and I will not have someone as lazy, selfish, and greedy as you celebrating with us on such a happy occasion.
I can't believe this, Mallory. I am so disappointed in you. I would never have thought you would speak to me in such a manner. I'm going to have a talk with Troy about this as soon as possible. If that boy would only pick up his phone.
Oh, I wouldn't count on Troy to come to your rescue, Linda. He's on my side.
What? There's no way.
As a matter of fact, he told me personally that he's embarrassed to call you his mother.
No.
He said that he feels like he would die of embarrassment to have an unemployed parasite like you at his wedding. So since we both feel the same way about you, we decided that we would ban you from coming to our wedding.
You may be right that I've not had any traditional employment since my husband passed, but calling me a parasite, that's simply unfair. I gave my all to raise Troy. I cared for him in the house by myself ever since he was a child.
Really, Linda? Housework? Don't act like you've done something amazing just because you washed the dishes and swept the floor. Any idiot can do that. And I mean, so what if you raised him? That's literally the bare amount of effort required of a parent. To call that work is an insult to all the people who actually work to make society function. But as long as you've come all this way, you can go ahead and leave whatever gift you got for us at the front desk. That's all we want from you, though. We don't need any useless parasites at our wedding.
Is that really the only reason you're not allowing me inside?
Yes. Now get out of here.
Hey, Mom, sorry, I'm running late. I'll be at the chapel soon, though, so let's meet up, okay? Where are you right now?
Hello, Kyle. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed inside the building.
What? But you're family! And not just any family, you're the mother of the groom! There must be some mistake. The venue staff must have mixed up the guest list or something. I'll message Troy and have him take care of it for you.
No, don't bother. There isn't any mistake. Mallory and Troy intentionally had me banned from the building.
What? I mean, what? What are you talking about? Are you serious?
It seems the two of them take issue with the fact that I haven't had any sort of job since your father died. Apparently, I'm a parasite, in their words. I suppose I could have seen this coming. Your older brother has always been rather cold to me. But to think that Mallory would agree with him... Actually, she might even be egging him on.
That's gotta be the dumbest thing I've ever heard. So what if you've never had a normal job? You worked more than hard enough to raise us by yourself all these years. And it's not like you haven't been doing anything with your time. Wait a second. If I remember correctly, you were going to talk to Troy about that today, weren't you? Did you get the chance to talk to him yet?
I've tried calling him and texting him multiple times, but I haven't gotten any response. And since I can't get inside the building to talk to him directly, no, I haven't had the chance yet.
Yeah, and that's a conversation that would best happen in person anyway.
In any case, they're not letting me inside, but I don't believe they've banned you from the building. Don't worry about me, Kyle. You go ahead and enjoy the wedding.
But, Mom!
I mean it. Go on inside. Have fun.
All right, if you say so, but I'm gonna try and get through to Troy and Mallory. I've known Mallory since before she and Troy started dating, so maybe I can talk some sense into her.
Really, Kyle, it's fine. You don't need to go to any trouble for my sake. Even if you somehow got them to let me come inside, it's very clear that I'm not wanted.
If you say so, but you aren't really fine with this, are you? I mean, they're completely wrong about you. If nothing else, I think I can at least wake Mallory up. Troy might be too far gone. Who knows, maybe I can get Mallory to twist his arm for us.
Thank you, Kyle.
Are you for real, Linda? You're still not giving up? You went entitled to Kyle, didn't you? Well, thanks for proving me right about you. You're nothing but a useless parasite.
Mallory, would you please explain why you hate me so much? Have I ever done anything to you to deserve this sort of treatment? I can't think of a reason.
Oh, you want a reason? I'll give you one. I hate people who can't stand on their own 2 feet. All you've ever done is leech off the success of your dead husband. When you decided to live the rest of your life just by siphoning away at the money he left for you, you spat on his grave. You disgust me. People like you have no respect for all the effort that goes into making society function. So until the day comes when you stop being a lazy moocher and do something productive with your life, there is no way we will ever have anything to do with you. Well, Linda, do you understand now why I hate you so much?
When my husband passed away, do you know what the last thing he said to me was? He told me to take good care of our children. I honored his request and dedicated all of my time and effort to ensuring Troy and Kyle had everything they needed. And this is the thanks I get for that?
Oh, don't you dare try to guilt trip your kids over your bad decisions. I feel so bad for both of them that they had to be stuck with a lazy parasite like you for a mother. And not just them, your entire family. You're a disgrace to your family's name. Just so you know, even once me and Troy get married, I will never consider you my mother-in-law. I won't even consider you as family. You are nothing to me, and that's the way it's gonna stay.
This is quite the attitude change from you, Mallory. I remember the first time Troy brought you to the house to introduce us. What happened to the Mallory I spoke to that day?
Are you really so dense that you don't know I was putting on an act? What was I supposed to do? Be honest with you? How would that conversation have gone, I wonder? Nice to meet you. I hate your guts. Let me marry your son. Something like that? I had no choice but to get you to like me, or else it would have meant a ton of unneeded trouble for both of us. That's basically what every family does, right? You pretend to like each other because you have to.
It seems that you and I have very different conceptions of what it means to be family. So, fine, have it your way. As of this day, I disown Troy as my son and you as my daughter-in-law.
Wait, what?
I'm afraid I will never see eye to eye with you. If you're so opposed to my presence in your family, then there's nothing else for me to do but remove myself from your family.
For real? Oh my god, this was way easier than I expected it would be. I figured you'd be begging and pleading for us to let you in for at least a few more hours. But now, not only are you staying out of our wedding, you're also saving us the trouble of disowning you. I'm gonna text Troy to tell him the good news right away. I just took a screenshot of our conversation, so you can't take it back anymore.
I have no intentions of ever taking it back. I think you'll come to regret the choices you made today, Mallory.
Yeah, right. This is the best day of my life. Hey, where's our gift? I think you've kept us waiting long enough at this point. When are you going to send us your gift?
Your gift? What are you talking about?
Do you speak English? Our wedding gift. Your son got married a few days ago. Don't tell me you're not going to give him anything at all. I guess maybe you've been shut up in your house for so long that you've completely forgotten about basic etiquette.
I seem to recall telling you on the day of the wedding that I disowned Troy as my son. Why would you be expecting a gift from me?
You didn't disown him until the day of the wedding, though.
Be that as it may, you were enthusiastic about the prospect of me removing myself from your lives. I don't feel compelled to give any sort of gift to people who would so cruelly insult me as you two did. In any case, I think I gave the two of you more than enough money before your wedding.
That was before our wedding. This is now we're talking about. Well, we used all the money you gave us before to pay for the wedding. Now that we're married, we need all the money we can get to finance our lives together moving forward. Or what's the matter? Are you telling me you've already burned through all your husband's money? Wow, you might be even more of a greedy parasite than I thought.
Oh, you don't need to worry about me at all, Mallory. I'm not hurting for money. It's true that I've never had what you would call a traditional job, but that's not to say that I have no income.
What income could you possibly have? Are you talking about welfare money from the government or something?
No, I make far too much to receive any welfare. My income is somewhere around $20,000 a month.
Huh? Oh, wait, don't tell me. Are you about to invite me to join your pyramid scheme or something? You should work on your pitch. Going straight to $20,000 a month is pretty unbelievable. Start with somewhere closer to $3,000. You might get more bites.
It's not a pyramid scheme, it's just real estate. I worked in real estate back before I was married, and I still have a valid realtor's license. I still own all the rental properties I acquired back then, and I've bought quite a few more since. I mean, did you really think that I was relying solely on my husband's insurance money all this time? The math doesn't make sense if you give it a little thought. I raised 2 boys by myself without a regular 9-to-5 job, and I put them both through college. There's no way I could do that without having some other source of income.
Wait, so you're telling me that you're pulling in $200,000 a year?
Perhaps math isn't your strong suit, but 12 times 20 is 240, so it's actually around $240,000 a year.
But that's insane! Why didn't Troy know about that?
I know that boy better than anyone else, Mallory, even you. He's so impulsive that if I were to tell him about my rental properties, he would no doubt dive headfirst into buying whatever real estate he could. He'd go bankrupt within a month and spoil any chance he may have had at a prosperous future.
Okay, but if you told him the truth, then he wouldn't have grown up thinking you were just lazy and unemployed. And the same goes for me. I would never have kicked you out of my wedding if I had known about that.
I don't see what your issue is. Is there something morally inferior about being a full-time parent or superior about being a real estate investor? It doesn't seem to me like a person choosing one path over the other would merit treating them better or worse. Why should the way a person chooses to make money or how much they make change your opinion of a person? But you and Troy feel differently, apparently. It looks like I made the right choice when I decided not to tell the two of you about my rental income.
But if that's true, then you have even more of a reason and responsibility to give us a good wedding gift. You're making $20,000 a month for absolutely nothing, right? You can part with a measly $10,000. If you write us a check for $10,000, then I'll give you a pass on not having it ready in time for our wedding and for lying to us about your income.
First of all, I never lied to you. I simply never told you, and you never asked. Second, you're in no position to forgive me for anything. I will not give you another cent for as long as I live.
Oh yeah? Well, we'll see about that.
I don't think you're in much of a position to do anything to change my mind.
If you won't listen to me, then I'll just have to go and talk to someone who can get through to you. Kyle's a reasonable guy, and he'll see things from my point of view. Kyle, are you there? There's something I need your help with.
What do you want? I still haven't gotten over what you did at the wedding, you know.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to talk to you about. Me and Troy were under a huge misconception. We always thought that your mom was just some loser, unemployed woman who stayed at home doing nothing all day. But it turns out she's actually making a ton of money from a bunch of rental properties she owns. Did you know about that?
Yeah, kinda. Back when I was in college, I stopped home one night and there was a huge manila folder on the table that I didn't recognize. I opened it up to see what it was, and it turns out that was the folder my mom kept all her real estate documents in. The very top page was a list of all the units she owns and the rent coming in each month from them. I guess Mom didn't know I was coming over, so she hadn't put it away yet. She told me about everything that day.
Seriously? I mean, you know, but you didn't tell Troy? He's your brother. How could you keep it a secret?
You even need to ask? It's because I knew what a disaster it would be if he found out. Is that all you wanted to talk to me about?
No, there's more. Get this. Your mom didn't give us anything for our wedding. No money, no presents, nothing. Isn't that awful? Like, so what if she couldn't come to the wedding? That doesn't change the fact that it was still her son's big day.
Hold on a minute. Let's clarify one thing. By couldn't come to the wedding, you mean that you banned her from the building, right? And yet you have the gall to act like she got sick or missed the bus or something? Not to mention, you've been calling her a parasite, haven't you?
Well, she is just a landlord, isn't she? Owning property isn't a job. She's still just leeching off the labor of other, more productive people.
That sounds like communist propaganda, but okay. Anyway, you made your choice to talk down to her, and you're reaping what you sowed right now.
But what about you, Kyle? You don't want to see me struggling with money, do you? I am your ex-girlfriend after all, remember?
I've spent the last several years trying to put it out of my mind completely, actually.
Oh, I think I detect a hint of jealousy. Are you still mad that I left you for Troy? What's the matter, Kyle? You still have feelings for me?
Get over yourself, would you? Exactly what would make you think I still have feelings for you?
Oh, you know, the fact that you were completely head over heels for me while we dated.
You were my first girlfriend, Mallory, so yeah, I did have some pretty strong feelings for you back then. But then you completely brushed me off and went out partying by yourself all the time. And to top it all off, you broke up with me and started dating my brother because you thought he had more career potential than me. I'd say that's my strongest memory of you, the way you looked at me when telling me you were leaving me for Troy. It was like you didn't think you had done anything wrong at all. And you haven't changed a bit since then. Actually, no, I think you've become an even worse person since you started dating Troy. You stabbed me in the back and treated my mother like dirt, and now you think I'm gonna help you work things out with her? What's with this sudden change of heart anyway? First you avoided her like the plague, but now that you know she's got money, you want to get back in her good graces? Are you that hard up for money?
Yeah. We made a promise to each other that we wouldn't let the other know how much we had in savings until after the wedding. Troy works for a really big company, though, so I figured he must make a ton of money in the bank. But he just showed me his bank account balance the other day, and he's got nothing. He's got to have a decent salary. How does he not have any savings?
You mean you didn't know?
No what?
Troy has a gambling problem.
What?
That's right, he's an addict, and he spends most of his money at the casino every month. And that's not all, he even went into debt to make a big bet on a football game that he lost.
No way. But that doesn't make any sense. He's never acted like he has money problems. Like he always buys me whatever I want and takes me out to expensive restaurants on dates.
Where do you think that money came from? That's all money he borrowed. If you won't take my word for it, take a look inside his briefcase one of these days. I'll bet it's full of letters from debt collectors demanding repayment.
I can't believe it. If I knew he was that deep in debt, I never would have married him. Why didn't you tell me about that? If I am doomed to live in poverty for the rest of my life, it is all your fault, Kyle.
You betrayed me, Mallory. I don't have any responsibility to save you from yourself.
What am I gonna do? I was so sure that I'd be living a life of luxury once me and Troy got married that I went and spent all my savings on a bunch of shoes and handbags. You have to do something, Kyle.
Nah, this is your problem, not mine. What was it that you said to my mom? That you hate people who can't stand on their own 2 feet? Well, guess what? Here's your opportunity to stand on your own 2 feet and solve your own problems.
But I can't.
Uh-oh, you don't want to become the very thing that you hate, do you, Mallory?
Shut up, will you? I don't need your mockery right now. I need to go have a talk with Troy. Why is this happening to me? This is all your fault, Linda. You tricked me. I'm gonna sue you for fraud.
Well, good afternoon to you too, Mallory. How have I defrauded you, may I ask?
You never told me that Troy was a gambling addict. Kyle told me about it the other day, but I didn't believe him. When I asked Troy about it, though, he admitted everything.
Let's get one thing straight. I did not know about Troy's gambling problem or his debt. It's been years since he moved out of the house and started living on his own. Also, he's under the impression that the insurance money I got from his father's death is almost all gone. So he's never even come to me to ask for money.
Okay, so maybe you didn't know, but you're still his mother, aren't you? That means you have to take responsibility for him. You've got plenty of money, so you can give some to me to apologize for not raising him better. If you won't give me anything, then you'll just have to pay off all Troy's debts for him.
This is going to give me a migraine.
Oh, I know. You can just hand over all the rental properties you own to us. If we were making $20,000 a month, we could pay off all Troy's debts in no time. You've got tons of skills and experience, so you can just start from scratch. That won't be a problem for you. Think of it as giving Troy an advance payment on his inheritance.
I've heard more than enough out of you, Mallory. Do you have any idea how hard I have worked to build what I have? I lost my husband, who at the time was the sole breadwinner for the family. I had 2 children to support, though, so I had to find work immediately. I barely even had time to mourn. But they were so young at the time, I felt terrible leaving them at a daycare center all day. That's when an old colleague called me up and asked if I would be interested in real estate investment. Yes, I had skills and experience, but that didn't mean it was easy. It took a lot of trial and error before I managed to find success. Once I had a stable home, I decided to focus on raising my boys. My real estate portfolio is what allowed me to be with my sons to watch them grow up, and I will not simply hand it over to you.
You just said you started investing for your sons, right? Then why won't you just let Troy have it?
Originally, I was planning on doing just that. I saved up more than enough to ensure my needs are met once I retire, and I plan to split my portfolio evenly between Troy and Kyle. However, all that changed on the day of your wedding.
Oh?
Do you recall that I had something important to talk to Troy about that day? I was going to discuss handing over his half of my real estate portfolio to him. Since he would be starting his own family, the additional income would have helped him achieve financial security. But then you banned me from entering and called me a parasite, so I gave up being his mother. So I no longer have any reason to give him anything.
Hey, about what I said, I'm sorry, I take it all back.
You're too late. I already made my decision to hand over my entire portfolio to Kyle. My lawyer filed the necessary paperwork, so there is no going back anymore. I'm passing down all of my skills and experience to Kyle as well. So I can't give him anything anymore. I have nothing left to give.
No, you mean I am stuck living with a gambling addict who's up to his eyeballs in debt?
You could always divorce him.
But Troy said that if I did that, he'd get his lawyer friend to screw me over. I'd be left with nothing, and I can't afford my own lawyer. I'll never be able to beat him.
Troy did go to a rather prestigious university. I'm sure he knows some of the best lawyers in the area. But none of this is my problem at all, Mallory. It's yours. So don't ever contact me again. You are nothing to me.
Come on, this can't be happening.
Hey, Mom. I was planning on coming to your house for Thanksgiving. Is that all right?
Of course it's all right. You're welcome to come to my house anytime you'd like.
I don't suppose Troy will be coming, will he?
As a matter of fact, I don't even remember the last time he's been at your place on Christmas, Easter, July 4th, or anything.
I don't either. I doubt he wants to see either of us very much right now.
Hey, tell me, Mom. So, Troy was pretty awful to you, but it's got to hurt, doesn't it? Having to cut ties with your own son?
I would be lying if I were to say that I've never regretted doing what I did, but he's not a child anymore. He's an adult man and he needs to take responsibility for his own decisions from now on. It's his life. I suppose as long as he's still alive, I won't feel too guilty about anything.
Yeah, I know that must have been a really difficult decision for you to make, so you must have really been angry at him. Enough about him, though. I had a question for you. While I'm there for Thanksgiving, would you mind giving me a few pointers on real estate investment? There are a couple of properties I was looking at buying, but I'm not sure if it's a good idea.
I would be glad to give you any advice that I can. But you've already been at this for a while now. I'll bet you're already just as knowledgeable as I am.
It's only been a month, Mom. There's no way I know as much as you do. I still have a ton of stuff that I want to learn from you. You can teach me all that stuff right after you teach me how to cook a turkey, okay?
Sounds wonderful, Kyle. You know what I'm thankful for this year? Having a son as wonderful as you. About 6 months after the debacle at the wedding, I heard a knock on my door. When I opened it, who do you suppose was there? It was none other than Mallory. And why do you suppose she was there? You guessed it, to beg me for money. It seems that Troy hadn't quite gotten over his gambling problem. Any money that he gets his hands on goes straight into the slot machines. They rarely have any money left over at the end of each month. Additionally, Troy has been telling her that it's a wife's job to make sure the house is spick and span at all times. If he finds something even the slightest bit out of order, he starts tearing into her. That's causing her quite a bit of emotional pain. I wonder if this is my fault. I was always something of an immaculate housekeeper myself. Perhaps Troy is comparing her capabilities as a housewife to mine. They have fights just about every other day, and what does Troy do to relieve the stress from their fights? Why, he goes to the casino, of course. So they fight because of his gambling, and then he gambles to relieve the stress from the fights. It's a vicious cycle that's sending them deeper and deeper into debt. I told Mallory the same thing I told her before, that I don't have anything to give to her. When I said that, she didn't try to argue or talk back to me. She just got quiet, slumped her shoulders, turned around, and slowly walked away. And I haven't heard a thing from either Mallory or Troy ever since. I have no idea where they are or what they're doing now. However, the fact that I haven't heard anything from the police either tells me that they're likely neither deceased nor in jail. As for me, after handing over all my real estate properties to my son, I found myself with an abundance of free time, so I decided to make a comeback. I bought a small apartment building, and I spend my free time cleaning the building and talking to the residents. They're all such wonderful people, and they're very appreciative of how well I maintain the building. Some even invite me over for tea from time to time, which is nice for an old widow like me. I also give Kyle advice from time to time about real estate. He's such a wonderful young man. I think my next mission will be to find a nice young girl for him.